There's a moment the human brain simply refuses to cooperate. It happens when reality breaks pattern. When something you've only ever seen through a screen suddenly exists right in front of you. No build-up, no warning, no time to prepare your reaction. Your thoughts don't form properly. Your body reacts before your mind catches up. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you freeze. Sometimes you just stop working entirely. Because in that moment, two completely separate worlds collide. The ordinary life you're living, and the impossible one you've been watching from a distance. And for a few seconds, nothing feels real. Today, we're looking at the moments when that exact collision happened. When celebrities stepped out of their world and into someone else's. Completely unannounced. Not for cameras, not for headlines, just because they chose to. 1. Dwayne Johnson and Themba. Some surprises don't just shock you, they reset your entire life. When Dwayne Johnson heard about a fighter named Themba Gorimbo, the story caught his attention for one simple reason. It didn't make sense. Here was a man who had almost nothing, and still gave everything. Themba had used his own earnings to build a water well back home in Zimbabwe. After doing that, he was left with barely anything. Sleeping in a gym, trying to figure out what came next. Most people, even wealthy ones, might have sent money. Maybe a message, a donation, something distant. Dwayne didn't do that. He showed up, in person, no distance, no filter, no middleman. And then he handed him the keys to a fully furnished home. You can watch that moment 100 times and it still hits the same way. Because what you're seeing isn't just gratitude, it's disbelief. The kind that comes from realizing your reality has just changed in a way you didn't think was possible. That's the difference between helping someone and showing up for them. 2. Billie Eilish and the fans. Other times the moment is smaller, but just as powerful. Two fans were standing in front of an arcade machine, completely locked into a rhythm game. The music was loud, their focus even louder. They were in their own world. What they didn't know was that Billie Eilish had quietly walked up behind them and stayed there, watching, smiling, waiting for the exact right moment. There's something almost playful about it. Like she understood that the reaction would only work if it came at the perfect time. And when she finally revealed herself, everything broke. They screamed, they laughed. One of them almost lost balance entirely. Words stopped making sense. Because how do you process that? You're dancing to someone's music, and suddenly that person is standing behind you, watching you do it. It's a reminder that sometimes the most powerful moments aren't planned for impact. They just happen. And that's why they work. 3. Johnny Depp at Disneyland. Now imagine something even stranger. You're on a theme park ride. Everything is familiar, predictable. You've seen animatronics before, a figure's designed to look real but never quite convincing enough. And then one of them moves, turns its head, looks directly at you, and speaks. Because it's not a machine at all, it's Johnny Depp, fully in character, blending into the environment just to surprise people. What makes this moment so interesting isn't just the reveal, it's that split second before your brain catches up. The confusion, the hesitation, that brief flicker of something is wrong here. And then the realization hits, and everything flips from uncertainty to pure excitement. That emotional switch, fear to joy in a fraction of a second, is what makes moments like this unforgettable. 4. Tom Hanks and the wedding. Some moments don't need planning at all. Tom Hanks wasn't trying to create a viral clip. He wasn't setting up a surprise. He was just out for a run. Normal day, normal routine. Until he noticed something. A couple in wedding attire, mid-photo shoot, capturing what was supposed to be one of the most important days of their lives. Most people would have kept moving. He didn't. He stopped, walked over, introduced himself, spoke to them like it was the most natural thing in the world. And just like that, a normal wedding photo shoot turned into something they'll tell for the rest of their lives. That's what makes moments like this different. They aren't created, they're chosen. 5. Mark Hamill and the fans. There's a different kind of reaction when the person you're seeing isn't just famous, but part of your childhood. Mark Hamill understood that better than most. He didn't wait for formal meet and greets or controlled interactions. Instead, he would appear without warning, right behind fans. People who grew up watching him, quoting him, building entire parts of their imagination around the characters he played. And when they turned around and saw him there, the reaction wasn't calm. It wasn't even coherent. It was disbelief. Because on some level, your brain doesn't categorize that moment as real. It feels like something that belongs in a story, not in your actual life. And yet, there he is. 6. Tom Holland. Reveal. Tom Holland in the Spider-Man suit is already a genuinely exciting thing to encounter. But the genius of this particular surprise was in the reveal. Fans were meeting someone in a full Spider-Man costume. Fun, exciting, great photo opportunity. And then the mask came off, and the person inside the suit was the actual Spider-Man, the one from the movies. Tom Holland, standing in front of them, having been there the whole time under the mask. Here's the part that matters. None of these moments had to happen. Every single one of them came down to a choice: to stop, to show up, to step outside of a controlled, managed world, and into someone else's reality. And for a few seconds, all the distance that fame creates just disappears. No titles, no status, no separation, just people. Reacting, connecting, sharing a moment that neither side will forget. That's what makes these moments stick. Not the celebrity, not the surprise, but the fact that for a brief second, everything felt real.